What's going on, Ball here? Welcome to a new video, and today I'll be doing a preview of the PGL Cluj-Napoca playoffs. Sorry I didn't make a video on the group stage, but I'm happy you got to see 8 of the better teams in playoffs. And actually, these are 8 decent draws, sorry, 4 decent draws. I don't mind the opponents for round 1, and I think these are really good semifinal matches we're going to get, assuming we get the matches that I would want, for example. So if you guys do enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, and let's get into it. First, let's talk about Paravision Falcons. That is the first game that will be showing up tomorrow on Friday. Obviously, they played in the S5 Bounty back. That was Valve's back when Falcons had Nucleon instead of Kyosuke. That was a best of 5 instead of best of 3. And basically, this should be the best quarterfinal, in my opinion. Because Banjo Standard, Paravision don't play Nuke. Falcons could play Nuke. They stopped playing it now because not a lot of teams are like willing to leave this like decider. It's more like it seems like Falcons are more willing to push the veto into like Dust 2, Mirage, Inferno. They've even been willing to play Anubis against certain opponents and actually been winning on it. They left it as decider against Fury instead of Dust 2. So you know what I mean? Like so clearly they at least could play it. Paravision literally don't play it. Falcons do the normal bands overpass. They don't play it. Paravision stopped playing it since they added Zwei. But with the old lineup with AW, it was one of the better maps. They beat like Aurora on this map back at the Major. They beat Gamer Legion in overtime back at the Major. They sort of can play it, so they should be standard bans. Falcons, here's the thing about this veto. This is a very much a shake hands veto. Like you guys see like some Dust 2, Inferno, Mirage, maybe Ancient. These gonna be all maps that 4 teams can play. When it comes to map recent form, I think Paravision should just go Ancient. Falcons have stopped playing as much. They used to be amazing on it. Around like Chengdu time, they used to be amazing on Ancient. They stopped playing as much. It's no longer one of their better maps. They literally abandoned this map. They leave it as a decider at best, right? So I think Paravision showed against Foot that they can grind out the games. It can be close, but I think they can nick that one. Falcons, in theory, should just pick Mirage. Yes, it used to be a whole map for Paravision. In the run at Bounty, they played 3 times and won all 3 times. But since that point, they've been bleeding Mirage losses. Like at this event especially. They got wrecked by FaZe Clan. They lost it against G2. They lost it against Foot. They've been bleeding losses on it, and it's one of the better maps for Falcons. Even the loss against Fury in overtime, they lost both pistols in that game. Fury Falcons are quality on it. They beat Tiger with Sandin handily on it. Nuclear destroyed them. I think they have enough quality to steal that. Decider, this should be like some shake hands, Dust 2. I think probably Paravision bans Inferno because they're not too type to leave it as a decider. They just win on it if the opponent picks them. They get to play CT side. This how probably goes to Dust 2, unless Falcons are really confident in their Anubis, which is possible because Paravision haven't played it much. Falcons showed against Fear that they at least could play it. I think either or, I slightly favor Falcons in 3, and that's my opinion though. Mauser's Navi, they should go 3. I think if Navi don't fumble the VO, they just pick Ancient again. It's the one map that hasn't betrayed them during their slump periods. It's one of the few maps that has been reliable for them since Makaze. And Maus, they can play Ancient now. Like those stretches would at least be bad on it, but they're now at the point where they can at least stabilize and like get rounds on it. But they beat them last time in overtime back at Pro League, so I think they should pick it this time. The agreement to try to go for Mirage, go for more Mouse that had been avoiding. It didn't work this time. Mouse just picked Inferno. They're the best team in the world in Inferno. Navi relies a lot on CT sides on this map. The CT side's been very woeful in this map for quite a while. Mouse is like a top 2, top 3 Inferno team in the world. They're world class on it. The record on it is consistent. Like, after them getting beat up by Vitality in this group stage, I don't see them lose Inferno often. Like, maybe they lost to Aurora back in Krakow. But and also they got beat up badly by FaZe at the Major. But they generally win on it. They're like, I think, 9-3 in the last 12. And Navi's records rise a lot. Again, a lot on, like, bit on T side. Rise a lot on, like, Makaze winning banana fights, good utility. They don't have quite the routine on as much as Mouse do. Decider, I think, should be Mirage this time. Because Miles clearly have gained some confidence on Mirage with these recent wins. Navi's been bleeding losses, losing to Mongols on it, losing to Aurora on it, who aren't even Mirage team. They've been bleeding losses on it for a while. They got crushed by Fury back in Krakow despite winning both pistols. Lost Spirit in overtime despite winning both pistols. I think they'll leave it as decider, and there's no reason for Navi to play Nuke here. I think they just, because Miles, they aren't great on it, but the key thing is because it's a PGL event, and it follows the veto rules for the Major. It means Miles can pick the side because they're the higher seed than Navi. It means you're going to allow Miles to play CT side Nuke. And you saw in the game against Miles, they do not have a T side on this map right now. They clearly have issues on it. I would just make a Mirage decider. It's one of the few. It's a classic Navi map. Even during slumps, you at least can get rounds on it and grind it out. And it goes. I think it goes to 3. I think Miles wins in 3. Fury Mongols. Here's the thing. I want to believe Mongols because they have like Ignite's been playing great. Cobra actually had some good maps this event. It was good to see they had a couple maps where he stood out and seems more comfortable. Blitz at times can frag, but the problem here is one, I believe if you're a system more than Mongols rely a lot on individuals, pistol rounds, like clutches. They don't have quite the same gameplay. Even when they took a map off Vitai, it took a lot of magical rounds to grind that game out. I'll give them credit, they lost both pistols and conversion in that game. They did win more gun rounds, but they had to win a lot of gritty 3v3s. Fear's a bit more reliable on how they win rounds. And the key thing is there's no map in this pool I think Mongols are like a clear favorite on. Because it used to be standard bans. Mongols don't play Anubis now. They used to be decent on it. Like, they used to be okay on it. The old lineup. I don't know why they don't play it now. I guess because they overplay Strain, so no point in playing it. But Mongols, I think, have bigger issues than having a permanent ban. I think they should just try Anubis ban something else, but it's hard to see what else. But I'll leave that as it is. That's a different video entirely. Fury, the Ancient Band, it's one of the better maps for Mongols. Even though they haven't played much with this lineup, it's still a classic Mongols with the core four. Even with Azteca, this was one of the maps they had way back in Cologne. It was one of the maps they had in the back pocket. So, absolutely, if I'm the I think just ban it. Don't try to float it. The problem is, okay, Fury should pick Dust 2. It's one of the better maps, despite them being scared to play Vitalia on it, because Vitalia are godlike on it. They're world class on it. They're pretty consistent on it. Even when they lose to it, they lost to Spirit back in Krakow. Spirit's best map is Dust 2. They lost to like Foot on it. That Foot played amazing in that series, and long term, I still think Fear's better on it. Foot at least can play. They went to like below overtime against PV. Foot can play, and their individuals have been playing well. Generally, the record's solid. They crushed Aurora on it. Like, I think they're back at Crack, obviously. They're pretty reliable overall. Like, they stole a game in overtime against Paravision, took a year 1v2, but a win's a win. I think they've won on it. And Mongols have not been playing much Dust 2 recently. It's not even at their peak. This is a map that was always in the middle of the map pool, below the Ancients, the Mirages, certain periods Inferno, depending on what period we're talking about. Below even maps like Nuke at times. Nuke at times got to about like a 67% win rate. So I think if you're picking, I think they win Dust 2. The problem is, where's Mongols pick? In theory, it would be Inferno, because they had an overtime loss last time. Mongols in the past used to be competent on it, but given how they got beat up pretty bad by Navi and Fury could start CT if they pick it, again, that's not really a pick. I wouldn't pick Nuke. Mongols' record on Nuke is kind of bad. Like, before this event, they were like 0-4 in the last 4, and now they're like 2-4 in the last 6. And ignoring the Krakow final because Vitalia really got outshot so hard, Fury's generally good on Nuke. It's one of the few maps that hasn't betrayed them post Navi loss in the major. It's one of the maps that they always have the pocket when needed as like a third map. I wouldn't pick it. If Fury might even let you play as a decider. If I'm Mongols, do I just pick Mirage? I'd probably just pick Mirage in this situation. Because again, even though it's one of the better maps here right now, like they won 7 last 8 games on it, they're world class on it now. It's still a classic Mongols map, even with Cobra's era. They beat Navi on it, they beat Fear back at Krakow in close action, but still wins a win. The problem is, I don't think the Mongols are even favored on Mirage, let alone if like Nuke's a decider like last time. I think overall, I think it's just Fear 2-0. Then we get to Vitalia Aurora. The thing is, when they played the seeding game, because it was a seeding game, Vitalia took the risk of floating Ancient. And Aurora picked it. It was a very messy game. Both teams had a chance to win the game, and then Vitalia won it like 5 overtimes. In a stage game, when they know Aurora are such clear underdogs, not just because the actual ranking disparity. Okay, Aurora, for example, are my bottom end of my top 10, like number 8 or number 9. They're not a bad team. But Vitalia is the clear best team. I know HLTV, they aren't even in the top 10. They might be like number 12 or something, number 11. And also, it's Aurora on the stage. They always let you down. Even when they're the favorite, they let you down. So, Vitalia should just keep it simple. Let the play Anubis. Remember, Vitalia gets start T-side. If Aurora pick it, they could play on the favorite, the most T-side map in the pool. I think Vitalia can even still steal that realistically. So Vitalia has no reason to really risk it, unless Aurora have no confidence in, or maybe have too much confidence and go for some crazy like Inferno pick or something like that. Realistically, if they do the normal bans, Vitalia should pick Dust 2. Yes, Aurora like the Dust 2. It's one of the better maps. It's one of the maps on the higher end of the map pool. Vitalia literally do not lose Dust 2. Or, if Aurora do the Mirage ban, for example, Vitalia should just pick Inferno. It's one of their home maps still. The G2 loss is an outlier. They banged up Maus, who are one of the best in the world on this map. So if they pick Inferno, assuming Mirage is the ban for Aurora, because I think Aurora get Goomba stomped if they don't ban it. Aurora, you know, when it gets bait, that's an outlier. It took like miracle plays from the Quacadians. That's hard to win in overtime against bait with the new offer. You're not being Vitalia on that map. Even the game against G2 Gallows messy, but G2 really play Mirage. They don't mind it. Then you go to like, Mongols' best map is Mirage. Furious, they've improved on Mirage, and they're one of the best teams in the world. G2 Falcons one of the better maps in Mirage, and they're one of the best teams in the world. I can accept those losses, and they're better losses on average than what Aurora's been taking on Mirage. Like they've been losing to like they get like banged out by Paravision. They're like nah. Like, I think Vitalia's gonna force them to ban it, and Vitalia will just pick Inferno and will win on it. And Aurora pick Anubis, they can maybe steal it, but that's like 50-50 mode. and let alone the fact of Roar being bad on stages and Vitaly being the best team in the world and they're so experienced on stages. Even the decider won't be free. Like maybe Dust to decider because both teams like it. Maybe Nuke if like Aurora thinks Vitaly have stopped playing as much. But despite because Hagen Krakow that was one of the weaker maps. But there's no map in the pool that Aurora's favorite on, so I think Vitaly should win 2-0 to be honest. Maybe Aurora can still Nubis, but I think that's being generous. And that's if Vitaly will let them have it. If they ban it, I think it gets nightmarish. If they're forced to like an ancient pug game or like go for like a god like where do they go? Like do they just pick a Dust 2 or something? Like there's not a lot of options, you know what I mean? Then we got Falcons versus Mouse. This is fun enough. The fact that Falcons are the better stage team overall. Mouse won the last 2 times against Falcons. And the video should be similar to the one in Krakow. Same bands. I think it should be the same picks. Falcons are good enough on Dust 2. Mouse Dust 2 is their worst map right now. They don't want to play it. They're like getting 3-3 since the reintroduction of the map. Falcons evidently could play Dust 2. It's not the best map, but they certainly are competitive on it. And I think just pick it. I think Mouse still should pick Inferno. The one map that hasn't like consistently betrayed them since their train removal. I think you should keep it. It was already their second best map behind train in the old map pool. They should pick it. Yes, Falcons are competitive on Inferno. They've improved a lot. They're not like about 60% win rate. They're at least it was within their top 3 maps, so it's no longer a weakness. But Mouse are legit world class on it. I think they pick it. Decided last time in Krakow was supposed to be Ancient. I actually think it goes Mirage this time. Because of one, I think Falcons might even ban Ancient for them. Because Falcons have been really lacking confidence on it the last couple months. They just stopped playing it since Chengdu. And I think Miles will let them play it. Despite the loss of the majors, that was a close enough game. Yes, Miles won both pistols and like they were up a ton of rounds, but that was a close enough game in the round, like how competitive like the 2v2s were and stuff like that, where I think Miles will let them have it. And I actually think Miles could steal in 3. I have Miles winning 2-1. Maybe they win 2-0 because they showed they could win Dust 2 last time. Maybe even. Like again, I wouldn't favor 2-0. I think Miles could steal. I think they're good enough that they can make the final. Fury versus Vitality. This, in theory, yes, form-wise and how the Krakow final went, this should be an easy 2-0 for Vitality. But I think that the way Fury played in that Krakow final, that's not real Fury. Fury, that whole Krakow event was on fumes. They're running on oxygen supply. Like, that was not real Fury. They haven't looked amazing. This episode, they looked good enough. They looked much better than they did in Krakow. Like, even the maps they're losing are in overtime, besides them getting wrecked by Falcons. But generally, yes, they have to grind games out usually, but they're at least better than were in Krakow. Krakow, they were almost lost to Mountain Mongols. They didn't even look that good against Navi. They limped. They almost got 2-0 by Charlotte. Like they looked so limp the whole tournament. Like they limped past Spirit. They almost got 2-0'd. Like this one, they looked more reliable, looked more consistent. Yeah, they almost lost to Paravision, but otherwise they looked more consistent. And on top of that, Mezia hasn't really shown for this event. Robson's been solid, but he hasn't been as good as he was for most World Cup besides absolute final. And the key thing is, in a best of 3, Fury are going to get maps they can play. There's no map in the pool Fury is like no chance on, or there's an auto win for Vitality. So Fury does the usual Dust 2 ban, which Fury like Dust 2, but Vitality literally do not lose this map. They're like 38-4 with Rops. They don't lose on it. Vitality, again, should play it simple. They're the best team in the world. Just ban Ancient. Don't even try to go for the weird float games. And just ban Ancient for them. Who cares? You're Vitality, you play every map in the pool to some degree, right? There's no map in the pool they're like a clear underdog. Mirage, I'll give Fury. The way they won in Krakow, yes, they did have to win some clutches, but Fury got outshot in that game. I think they got less kills in that game in Vitality, and if Fury individuals chart to some degree, Fury can even play bad. Fallen can still not be played great. But if Caserado, Moda, and Kinnard chart to some degree and actually on the scoreboard and are contributing, they can steal that. That's actually winnable, absolutely. Vitality then should pick Inferno like last time. I think the way they win Inferno games against Fury looks repeatable enough. And they clearly have confidence on it. They handle it. Mao is one of the best teams in the world on Inferno in the groups. The loss to G2 felt like more like an off game from Vitality, if anything, so they can win that. Decider, I think if Fury play it smart and do the overpass ban, there's 2 maps left. There's Nuke, and there's Nuke. There's Nuke and this more in front. It's Anubis, right? And Vitality, I don't think want to play Anubis. I think Vitality genuinely want to leave it. They could play it, but I think not. Vitality would rather play Nuke personally. If they leave Anubis, I think it's anyone's game. If it goes Nuke, I think Fury can steal that. I think generally either of these maps, Fury can win. It's possible. I think they're good enough to do on both of those. So I'm actually going to pick Fury to win 2-1. Then the third place game, Vitality versus Falcons, I think Vitality will win in 3. Falcons will pick Mirage. I think they can win that. Vitality probably goes for like a Dust 2. Even Inferno wouldn't be bad as a pick. I think Vitality wins that. Decider probably like a Nuke, I would imagine. Maybe like a Dust 2 if Falcons really feel confident, but I think there probably should be Nuke. And then Vitality can win that in 3. And then the final, I think Mouse can win Inferno. Even though Fury don't mind it, they're down to play it, Mouse can steal Inferno. Mouse, I think, can even still overpass. Fury have been lacking confidence overpass for a while. I think they're like 1-4 this year on overpass. They barely played it. They're not even that good on right now. Like since like since the majors, like they've really stopped playing it. Like those the loss of Foot, the loss of Strawless, they've really just stopped playing it as much, and they barely beat Foot at this event on it. So I would just like if I'm a Fear situation, I don't think I'm favored on it. I can maybe steal it, but I'll give Miles a chance on those two maps. The problem is we get to all five, considering the 5 maps in the pool, Dust heavily favors Fear. Fear's good enough on it where they can win that. Mirage, I think Fear's Fear. Miles don't mind right now. They're like slightly improved on it, but Fear's best map might be Mirage. And Nuke, I think, a heavily favor Falcons. So I think if it goes to the final, I think Fear wins in 5 and maybe wins in 4 if their easy side overpass shows up. And like I think Fear actually could win this tournament. I know the form hasn't been great, but I genuinely believe people are writing off Fear too early personally. I think they have enough quality. They're not playing amazing, but I think they have enough grit in the game. They have enough experience. I think they can steal this tournament.